good morning, everyone, and welcome to Rainmakers Roundup. I'm your host, Mark Iorio. I've got today with me Diane Holtaway. Diane is the Associate Director of Marketing and Business Development at the Food Innovation Center at Rutgers University. Diane, welcome. Great to have you, first of all.
Thanks, Mark. It's really fun to be here.
Yeah, it really is. And I hesitated when I said the Food Innovation Center at Rutgers University because I will guarantee you that most people don't even know that you and it exists. We'll talk about that in a minute, but tell us a little bit about how you, Diane, got started in the food industry. I think we talked about this in the past that most people think, well, if I get into the food industry, all I'm going to do is be a chef or a prep person or whatever, but there's a million different things you can do. How did you get into it?
Mark, it's really been a lifelong journey for me, the whole area of food. I grew up in a family that was passionate, and it was part of our culture. Some people say they live to eat and other people eat to live. My dad always said that. And I certainly was one of those people that lived to eat. I love the industry. I loved food. And I was one of those really fortunate people to find my passion very early on.
Yeah.
So when I decided to go to college, I ended up majoring in nutrition. I actually went to Rutgers University. It's been really fun to come back and work here at an amazing place. And I started by majoring in nutrition, and I did a little bit of work in clinical and realized that really wasn't for me. So what I ended up doing is I had an aha moment, and I always tell young people to take advantage of every opportunity they can because you never really know who you're going to meet.
Right.
And I went to an event that Rutgers had, and I met a woman who worked for Good Housekeeping magazine.
Sure.
And by that one moment in time, I realized this is the direction that I want my career to go in. So I ended up getting an internship at Redbook magazine in the food department. I got my first job at Thomas J. Lipton, which is now part of the Unilever.
Oh, yeah.
And that was my journey.
Yeah.
And I held several positions after that, but staying in the same area.
It's funny. You were saying to me the other day, Diane, that growing up in a family, an Italian family like that, you're always around food, and we as Italians, a lot of times we look at it as this is an event. It's not just the actual food itself. It's the food around the event, and
yeah.
You said that your mom had a real influence on you too. I want you to talk a little bit about that because that's a really cool story. I mean, to have her influencing you as a youngster is really important. And then
right.
That
She from very early on, she always watched what came into the house. She was the main shopper back in the day. Now everybody's doing the shopping, mom and dad.
Right.
But she was fit that mold. And she watched what she brought into the house, and she brought in a wholesome diet. She did not, we had treats. We had healthy food. And that was on a day-to-day basis. But when the holidays came around, I was fortunate enough to have two wonderful food-passionate grandmothers.
Oh.
It's funny, my mom she always called herself not a very good cook. My grandmothers certainly were, but I think she underestimated herself.
Yeah.
And the holiday time was just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, as an Italian family, we would prepare for days and then sit around the table for hours and hours.
Yeah.
A meal could literally last 6 hours.
Sure.
And I mean, from the hors d'oeuvres to the appetizers to the pasta course to the main course, the nuts, the fruit, the desserts. It was unbelievable. I mean, I carry on the tradition today, but not to that extent.
Yeah.
I don't know how I could actually eat that much. So my mom had a great influence on me, introducing us to all kinds of foods. Even though she was from Italian heritage, both parents.
Yeah.
But she was very into exploring new foods and serving them to us. So I grew up in that kind of culture, and that's what I have passed on to my children.
That's a great story. That just tells me that, here you are in your career path, and you still have the passion for food, because it happened when you were a youngster growing up in a family like that. So that's just so fascinating. And then you take this career path, and your career is pretty vast. I mean, Diane, you've had some wonderful positions, Campbell Soup and at Lipton, Unilever, and some other places. But you can talk about that, but I really want people to understand what goes on at the Rutgers Food Innovation Center. It is, I've been there, it's fascinating.
Right. Well, it is a fascinating place. And honestly, and I mean, this is the truth. There is no other center like this in the world.
Wow.
The Food Innovation Center at Rutgers is a facility that assists food entrepreneurs and established food businesses here in the U.S. as well as internationally. We are staffed by a number of different people, and they're veterans of the food industry. Everyone that works here has worked in the food industry and understands the ins and outs and the processes that go on outside of this place.
Yep.
So startups and other companies can come here for help. We offer a variety of services. It all depends on that company's needs. We're very customized. So a company might come in and say, I need to understand my market. I need to identify who my target is and really tighten my target up. Can you help us? And, I lead a market research team that can help companies with that. Sometimes companies come to us and I ask them, like, well, who is your target audience? Oh, everyone is going to love my product. Everyone. And in the industry, it just doesn't work like that. You have to really fine tune your target audience with the messaging that's going to resonate with them.
Absolutely.
Other folks may come in and use your product or even become, as we call in the industry, heavy users of it. But in the beginning, you have a target. So between the market research, we do sensory testing. You can evaluate your product against a competition. You can evaluate your product, different formulas that are developed here in our R&D department. So between market research, R&D, our Associate Director, Julie Elmer of Food Technology, can help you turn a recipe. Sometimes they're written on a napkin that come in here. Or sometimes they're not even developed yet. They're in somebody's head. Sometimes it's an established company that has a very formalized recipe, but they don't have the infrastructure to produce it. So there's the whole R&D department. We can help you in product development, in understanding the chemistry and the microbiology, and help you with your food safety planning. We have a whole food safety team that will help you with your food safety plans and your HACCP plans. That's a term in the industry, to develop a process to produce your product that's safe. We run a lot of training classes here because many of these food safety programs are critical to, they're very critical to establishing your, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
are critical to the programs that to your business. You must have a business food safety plan. So we do, and then what the final step, well, not really the final step, but the next step is where we have a whole food producing facility. It's a commercialization plant where you can take that product and produce it to enable you to sell it in the marketplace. It's a USDA and FDA inspected facility.
It is, the place is fascinating. I don't know if you do general tours for people. You're so busy down there, but I was so impressed when I came down there, and the place is a lot larger than I thought it was. And you had, at the time I was there, you had a food service company actually manufacturing product there, and I think they were flash freezing. I don't know if they were pizzas or they were sandwiches. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was fascinating. It was fascinating.
Well, one of our clients is a company called Chank's Grab and Go, and they started out as Chank's Pizza Cones. And I think that's what you're referring to. We have, they produce pizza in a cone. The cone is actually made of pizza dough. And then the filling in the cone is sauce and cheese and pepperoni, and they're expanding way beyond that. They have a seafood, a cheesesteak line, and they are just doing gangbusters. You have launched or helped launch, let's say, lots of brands, some very, very big brands, some very popular brands. I know right behind you in your office there, you have a number of products, Diane, that I don't know if you want to hold any of them up or anything, but just give people an idea as to what you're producing there at the Rutgers Food Innovation Center. Right. Well, we have a lot of emerging great brands being produced now. Here's one. It's called Ginger. And it is a
hold it closer to the camera.
Ginger tea.
Yeah, hold it closer to the camera. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So this one is a wonderful entrepreneur, produces ginger, and it is made with real ginger, with different types of ingredients. When you drink it, it really pops in your mouth. It's super delicious, and she's just getting started. We work with a number of farmers, and this woman makes Jalma Farms. She grows aronia berries and beach plums. They are indigenous to New Jersey, down in the Cape May area. There's a lot that grows, and she has a whole line of syrups and jams. Nacho Mama's sauce. This is a guy that created this product in his kitchen. It's not a barbecue sauce. It's not a hot sauce. It's just like an everything sauce that could really spice up your sandwiches, your chicken. Really, really fantastic. All of these products are specialty foods. First Field has been around, one of our longest clients. And they're actually producing today. First Field makes a whole line of tomato-based products. They started with ketchup, and they've moved into sauces and strained tomatoes and other products.
We're going to have to, Diane. We're going to take a quick break. I want you to. We'll hold that up after the commercial break. But there's so much to talk about, and it's so exciting. I can't wait to get back. But we're going to have to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
Great.
I work 13 hours a day, 6 days a week. So when I'm off the clock, I gotta get stuff done. So when I need a snack, I need something healthy, tasty, and easy to eat. Like wonderful pistachios without the shells. They're protein-powered, delicious, and great on the go. And that's perfect for me.
Thanks, Liz.
A woman without a lot of time.
Whether you're a gourmet cook or just want to eat like one, visit Rostelli Market Fresh, your home for the freshest, locally sourced ingredients to please everyone who loves great food. Our organic meats, quality seafood, and free-range poultry are cut fresh to order. Chefs create culinary-inspired prep foods made fresh every day, which pair nicely with our vast selection of fine wines and spirits. Choose from handmade pastas, artisan cheeses, organic produce, and grocery items, all from the finest purveyors. Rostelli Market Fresh, from our family to yours.
RVN TV is a platform for people of any industry to share their story. Over 285,000 viewers are tuning in to RVN TV shows monthly. We guarantee a great experience that you'll be sharing with everyone you know while increasing your personal and company's brand awareness. But what is your brand? According to Forbes, it's a combination of your logo, your product, your design and feel, and your personality. Did you know that aside from being a guest, we offer even more opportunity to boost your brand? Adding your company logo and website on screen during your interview will allow viewers to recognize your brand instantly. Incorporating images and video clips is another great way to showcase your product during your live segment. Let viewers see how good you really are. And most importantly, there's you and your interview. For less than the cost of a newspaper, direct mail, or a magazine ad, you can leave our studio and within 48 hours have a permanent digital copy of your live segment to link to your social media, embed into your company website, or use in email marketing. Investing in your brand is so very important, and we can't wait to have you as a guest.
Shelter dogs aren't broken. They've simply experienced more life. If they were human, we would call them wise. They would be the ones with tales to tell and stories to write, the ones dealt a bad hand who responded with courage. Do not pity a shelter dog. Adopt one.
Welcome back to Rainmakers Roundup. I'm your host, Mark Iorio. I'm having an awesome conversation with Diane Holtaway from the Food Innovation Center at Rutgers University. It's, Diane, this is fun. I'm having more fun just talking to you about what's going on with all these foods. You know, before the break, you were starting to hold up a product right after the sauce, and we had to go to commercial break. I think it's back toward the sign. To your,
Oh, this one.
yeah, that
I think
product.
it was this
Yeah.
beverage.
Yes.
Tribal.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. What's really big in the market right now are energy drinks.
Yeah.
You know, they started way back years and years ago. I'm sure you're familiar with Red Bull and all of those.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of folks are developing energy drinks that don't give you that rush and then that crush. You know, people don't want, that's why people have kind of moved away from high caffeine beverages.
Sure.
So, you know, this is an energy drink that it's called Viable, and wonderful entrepreneur produces that here also.
Okay.
Just a couple others to show. Another great company that's been in business for literally generations, Pure Indian Foods.
Uh-huh.
He has a whole line of products. This is ghee. Ghee is like a clarified butter product,
Okay.
and it's becoming very, very popular today. I mean, it was very popular in the Indian community, but now it's spreading,
Yep.
you know, across many cultures.
Okay.
And this product, this gentleman, wonderful guy, Indian heritage, and he has a company called the Chat Company, and does products which are they're fresh, refrigerated snacks.
Oh, wow.
So it's a really refreshing chutney with seasoned chips.
Wow.
And he packages them, and he's really growing. He's in a lot of stores and convenience stores.
Now, Diane, you probably held up a half dozen or so products. I'm sure some of them are available online. Some are available, you know, in retail stores, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, whatever. What's the best way to sort of find those products that are being launched out of the Food Innovation Center?
I think, well, if you go to our website, we have a lot of stories about the companies that produce here.
Yeah.
We have, it's funny, you were mentioning, like, how come I never heard about you guys? And believe it or not, we have been here for 18 years. For many years, there hasn't really been a focus on marketing.
Yeah.
So just a year or two ago, I was given that charge, and we've started to do a lot more marketing.
Okay.
And, people, they're found through word of mouth, grassroots, but at the same time, we do market. We've been on national television.
Yep.
We've been, Rutgers is part of the Big Ten.
Yep.
We were really fortunate. It was serendipitous that our Rutgers basketball team did so great, Go Knights, this past year. And we were featured in an ad on most of the basketball games. So that was really fun.
That's cool.
But, our website is Rutgers Food Innovation Center. So just look it up. And we have a lot of information on that site.
Are you starting to see so I guess getting new clients because of your marketing effort, people are starting to realize and recognize that you're there, and you're down in Bridgeton, so it's pretty far down in South Jersey. But are you starting to see more natural products, Diane, come across your desk or into the Food Innovation Center? People are not, they're really more conscious of what they're ingesting, and they're reading the ingredients more so today than ever before. Is that what you're finding out there?
Well, absolutely. And for the most part, we're in the specialty food category. And many specialty foods really stay away from artificial ingredients, preservatives, artificial colors. Lots of products are still out there, and and they're big sellers. But the trend is, and the term in the industry is clean label.
Yeah.
I actually have a business myself. I got pulled into this whole thing, and one of my philosophies is definitely clean label. I produce a product, it's an old family recipe called Phenom, and my aunt would make this product all the time, every holiday, every family event, and it was always the treat that went first. The plate was wiped out. So I said to my Aunt Betty, I said, you know what, Aunt Betty, we got to share this with the world. And I was in the food industry, and she was like, you go, girl. And one day we went into her kitchen, and we had to make hundreds of these Hungarian pastries, and one of the things I fall into that story, Mark. I am very passionate about not integrating any artificial ingredients and preservatives into my product.
Got it. Yeah.
But that is definitely a trend, and most of our clients.
We're experiencing some hang-ups here, difficulties on the Zoom call. Diane, can you hear me again, or we've lost Diane?
Hear you, but
yeah, okay, we're back.
Okay.
We had a little hiccup there. Tell us a little bit about the process that happens or takes place when someone new comes through the Food Innovation Center. How does that work?
Sure. Well, when folks hear about us, they usually find us online.
Okay.
We have an application right online that they fill out.
Okay.
That's what we ask them to do first. And our executive director, Nolan Lewin, he reads every single one of the applications, and within a couple days, we'll get back to the applicant.
Great.
We can't say we're for everyone, and it's about we assess each client with a number of criteria. We have to be the right fit for you.
Yeah.
And if we're not, we'll gladly try to find a solution for what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Some people are just too early stage. They're not at the point to really get into this gung-ho.
Right.
I run a class called Food Business Basics, and it is designed for early stage entrepreneurs to evaluate whether this is for them.
Right.
And we give them a bird's eye view of everything they need to really be thinking about and become aware of before they start spending a lot money and time.
Right.
It's not cheap to get into the food industry.
Oh, no, I can imagine
It's
so.
very expensive.
And everyone's got a recipe,
you have that
right?
passion, then some people walk away and say, thank goodness I came to this class. This is not for me.
Yep.
And other people just get more revved up,
Yep.
and they can't wait to start.
Yeah, we're coming to the end of the episode, but I wanted you to explain how you would sort of coach or mentor a youngster coming into the food industry, and what advice you would give them.
Yeah. Well, a lot of young people don't even realize the opportunities in the food industry.
Yeah.
Whenever I get a call or an email, I go and speak at classes at Rutgers to introduce them. Their eyes are like, really? This is the kind of career I could have in the food industry? Because as you say, they just think, well, I could be a chef or I can work in a supermarket. It's what they've been exposed to.
Yeah.
They don't realize there's engineering, food safety, microbiology, food technology, food science. There's marketing research,
Yep.
Finance. You need to know the numbers. That's the end of the day. There's operations. So there are just so many different careers that are embedded into the food industry.
Yeah.
And what I would say to a young person is, if this is your passion, follow it. Follow your niche.
Yeah.
Follow what you're really interested in and just go for it. Because if you will have a lifelong career that you enjoy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I have been so blessed because my career, I have thoroughly enjoyed. I never wake up and dread coming to work, wherever I work.
Good for you. That's awesome.
And so I think that is the most important thing. Find your niche, but there's so many opportunities, and they're looking for people in the food industry.
Yep.
Especially in operations and technology and food science and microbiology.
Yep.
There's a real need for young people to get into this field.
We have about 30 seconds left. If you could just tell us, where do you find your inspiration?
Everywhere. I am a foodie. I constantly go to restaurants, exploring new food. My inspiration as a young person came from my family.
Yep.
And being surrounded by in particularly women who loved to nurture and feed their families. And so that is where I get my inspiration from, who I am, who I was brought up to be, and all food around me. It's just constant.
Diane, you have been amazing. This has been a terrific interview. I'm smiling from ear to ear. I love what's going on at the Food Innovation Center. Just real quick, tell us how to get in touch with you and the Food Innovation Center at Rutgers.
Definitely. Just jump online, look up Rutgers Food Innovation Center. It's foodinnovation.rutgers.edu. Jump on, and all of our bios are there, our application is there, and we hope that, if you're interested, and the audience, and it's always been something you wanted to do, we look forward to talking with you.
Thanks, Diane. You've been a terrific guest.
Thanks, Mark.
I appreciate it. You're very
It's been
welcome.
really fun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for Rainmakers Roundup. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful and safe week, everyone. Take care.